Gaffer, you're not going to see many games with as much dominance as that.
Yeah, we've been in the coach's room just discussing, how many opportunities we created, and we'll look back on it. We'll get the stats on it, but we've created a hell of a lot. Final third entries and box entries. I think at times the quality wasn't just what I'd want it to be, or as productive. But first half, it took them 40 minutes to get into our own half. You know what I mean? And they had a shot, obviously from the free kick that's hit the bar, and we've not reacted to that. But that's the first time in the game that they've even got in our half. So we've dominated an Exeter team that like to get the ball down and pass it in their own sense, and they're a possession-based football team. But they couldn't handle what we had to throw at them. But just disappointed with the last bit. We've had so many chances again. Nards is a fantastic chance. The only player that really on the pitch you'd want it to fall to is Nards after scoring his first one, an exquisite header. Was Nards, but the pitch is actually out with the shot, because the shot's come in and he's skipped off the pitch, and the kids flapped at it, dropped to Nards, and he's used the pure silk in it on them opportunities. So that was one. Danny Rose had a good chance. Us was at the bar. But the only tinge of disappointment I've got is how we on the last bit, the final cross, or it's gone in there for a scramble later on. We've got to have some people prepared to throw their head and bodies across people maybe, and that's something we'll analyse and make sure we look at. But certainly in terms of trying to influence the game, we've done more than enough to influence that game today.
Is there a tinge of frustration in there?
Yeah, that's always after a game. If you've not won, you are frustrated. I think after we've come in tomorrow and dressed it down, had a body count, and I actually analysed the game, I think we've played some good football. We've tried to produce winning football today, and we've just not been able to
finish them off. Yeah, that ruthless edge that you need just to take a team out of the misery. Because I said to him at half time, it's like the boxer that doesn't finish off someone in the 7th round and it goes to a points decision. It needed finishing off and cleaning down, and I don't think Exeter would have come back from it. How do you get it back into them? Because we know they can do it. They can be more clinical in front of the goal. How do you get that back into them? Well,
you've got Rosie. They're still young lads. Alan Hope, they're still young lads, and the expectation on them is massive. But we'll just make sure we keep working at them. We said that to Rosie after the game. Nards, he's a proven finisher. He's been fantastic for us. So there's no worry. Scoring goals isn't a problem and hasn't been a problem. But I certainly, with Danny Rose and Alan Hope, we'll just keep working with them. We'll keep training with them, and they'll come good because the quality, the pedigree, and I fully believe that they'll come good.
Danny Nardiello missed Johnny on the spot for the goal, but the cross that came in for it was inch perfect.
Yeah, it's the one bit of real 10 out of 10 quality that we saw in the game, and he's put it inch perfect. That Nards has hung, and it's a fantastic finish. So yeah, one real bit of quality that outdoes you, but we needed more of that.
Paul Tisdale's on about a penalty appeal late in the game. What was your view on it?
I've seen it. It's a fantastic tackle by Riles. It's 1,000,000% not a penalty. I think he's saying that he should have gone down, but there's no contact for him to go down. So when you actually watch it in real time, I thought that Joe Riley has done magnificent in not taking the kid down. He's got to cross him. The kid's fluffed his lines, 1,000,000% fluffed his lines. He's not been able to take the shot early enough. And Joe Riley, when you actually see it back, has done brilliant to keep his composure and calmness to get back and intercept it. He's touched the ball and it's gone through, but it's 1,000,000% not a penalty. And if they want a penalty and want to win 2-1 after it was completely dominating game, then that's he was quite livid during the game about it. That's what
Take you away from the first team, youth team this morning, another win, but
that had a cost to serious injuries.
Yeah, disappointing, really sort of upset before the game. The staff come in livid, Kiddo, Mark Liverland, potentially 2 broken legs. I've got to get the final details on that. And it was a real tasty, horrible football match, and it's uncalled for. We're trying to protect players and make sure that the youth team is them players progress, and you can't progress if you're on an injury table. So yeah, it was a real fierce competitive game that should have been controlled better by the officials, and it wasn't. And we're carrying the cost of that.
Who were the 2 boys? Was it Cummins and Durham?
Rowan and Jake Durham.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I think Jake went to hospital. He was on gas and air. The ambulance come for him. So, but again, it was just before the games kicked off, so I've not had time to really understand where we're at with that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just come back to Paul Tisley, actually, I like a lot he just told us, and I understand what he was saying about that. He also did say that Bury are the best team, if not one of the best 2 or 3 teams in the division, and they're not helped by the pitch. So you've said it, now the opposition manager is saying it.
Yeah, but
What can you do?
We can't.
Yeah.
You know that we're midstream. Without wheeling it, digging it up and wheeling it out. It's 7,500 square foot. You can't do much about it. So we have just got to modify what we're doing. And the lads have been brave today on there. They really have. They've been brave. They've worked the ball well. I'm disappointed with the last 10-15 minutes because these times when if we're chasing a game, the lads know what to do. We've got to hit our strikers earlier than what we did do, and we didn't, and we just allowed them to really get set in position. So that's the only thing that we've come off task today with the last 10-15 minutes. So yeah, that's. But the game plan went to a team. You've got to make sure you dominate them, because if you don't get amongst them, then they've got players and passers, and that's what Tiz has done. He's got a team full of passers, good players, good footballers, and they like to dominate you with the football. And they have done to many teams this season, but they couldn't do that. We had the ball too much.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because you're at that spot on. But he actually said today they deliberately changed that. They went to quote his part of the bus. We said we're defending the too good a side to take on, and we'll try and hit them on the break. So is that something you're going to have to get a bit more used to now towards the end of the season?
No, because if the chances go in, then what's the plan B?
Well, I don't know what the plan B is.
It's 2, it's 3, it's 4-1.
Yeah.
So barring, all you can do is play the team and how they get set up, and we keep our principles strong, because like I keep saying to everyone, we're here for the long term. We're here for the long term. We're trying to develop a system and a style of play, and develop footballers within that system. So it goes from the top, it goes down to the bottom, and we've completely dominated. If Paul Tisdale's produced that point because of that, then he is a good manager. I like what he does. I like what he stands for. I love the way he's built his football club. But I'm not too sure then, once it's 2 or 3-1, which with Nards and Danny Rose's finishes, it is, then I'm not sure what plan B is.
Maybe I'd say maybe didn't have one, because to be fair, if Bury have got better players, you can have one of the plans you want, but if I've got better players than you, my car's bigger than your car, you're going to win, aren't you? So maybe there's just thinking that's the best way.
We've got to, we're just staying focused on what we're trying to do, and you've got to respect a point sometimes. If you can't get all 3, then respect 1 point, but certainly for us today it's 2 points dropped, because we felt, and the lads are in there, they've felt it about we spoke to them, that we've completely dominated a good Exeter team. But you're telling me that with a plan.
Well, yeah, he reckons. Well, he's basically, he can't take you on.
Give us control. Give us good.
Give you credit.
I get it. No, I get that. They've tried to give us control of the game or make us feel we controlled the game, but we were. And if we if our quality's 10% up, then it's a fantastic result. But there's points in the game. Danny Mayer getting a sort of abuse and
wasn't that abuse? I saw you turn around and
lack of respect. Come on, he's not going to be 10 out of 10 every week.
No,
he's not going to be 10 out of 10. That's when you need support. He's been he gets applauded when he does something well. and he's going to make mistakes. But one thing, and I hope the fans did see it, he kept getting on the ball. He kept wanting the ball. He never stopped. Sedgy went down to give him some encouragement and give him some support, because that's when you need support. You don't need support when you're doing something brilliant. You don't need support when everything's going well. What you need support is when you've just had a bit of a bad time. I think the 4 passes, he's not given 4 passes away since he's been at the club. 4 passes on the bounce, and that's the time. Trust in what we're trying to do, and I did turn around to the fans. I thought it was. I didn't think it was right. I didn't think it was right for what he's given us this season, for who he is. Last season with his goals and with the way he played, I believe he's a massive point in keeping us up. And we've got to support Danny Mayer in the good times and in the bad, because he's special. So let's protect him.
He's a great player, because in some ways, you probably think I'm mad when I say it, I'm sort of glad he made the wrong decision, because from his own mind he still knows he's still got. You can't put all that on young shoulders, can you? You're still got to learn. And that's if you do everything right all the time.
He's not an ABC player that you can coach ABC. He's someone who's so instinctive that we haven't a clue. Supporters, coaches, managers, what he's trying to do. It's just he's making it up as he's travelling at that speed, and he's the quickest player outside the championship. So wow. From the inner walls, we'll keep supporting Danny Mayer. That's what we'll do.
And he's well capable of just sticking one in the top corner, Steve, isn't he? Winning of the match, isn't he?
Well, he has done this season. His goal count's good. He smashed himself up that last Storm game when he scored and smashed into the post. So Danny Mayer will keep getting support and support and support, because he's always half a second away from some brilliance that wins you the football match.
Exactly right. Alab was half a second away from pulling his hamstring. Looking at him, is he all right?
We think so. We'll be in tomorrow. We'll have a look at that one. We'll see how it settles down. But he certainly overexposed it on the sprint, and it tightened up. So we don't think it's a tear. But we'll know more. We'll know more tomorrow night. We'll have to settle down, and sometimes the adrenaline pumping through your body, you don't get a true reflection after the game.
But you've got Jim came on. You've got Keogh O'Brien, I think, and is Pablo close yet?
Yeah, he's done a full week now with the sports science team, and he'll probably train with us tomorrow, Monday.
Right.
So we've got good cover in that. Now we've gone to a 2. We've got very good cover in that.
Jonesy, was that tactical or was he struggling?
Jonesy.
You can talk. I'll be waiting for you to go.
I've
been downstairs with Chris, but a long journey, so.
Not a problem, Tiz. Take care, mate.
Keep going.
Look after yourself.
Right, bye.
He's all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's brilliant.
He's all right. Sorry, go on. You say
Jonesy. He took him off and put Rose on.
Yeah, I just I felt as though Joe Riley was doing our attacking influence down that right hand side, and he was getting on his overlaps when Nicky comes inside. He was getting Joe Riley into the game, and that's what I felt we were missing. Just someone like Rose who does get across people, and we had a lot of ball in the box last third, so it was trying to get Rosie on there and Nards to be influential in that. But certainly with Joe Riley, he's a massive tackling influence. He must have put between 10 and 15 crosses in. I've not done the count, but he's loves to get forward, great aggression. Some of his quality was off today, but he's just a player I think who'll just get better. He's a young kid, and I'm really looking forward to working with him.
I mean, with regards to him, got a little bit of improvement to on his crossing and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, basically, the team is coming to the boil nicely. I mean, it does have it has got time to room to improve, hasn't it? The players
we'll always keep improving. You just got to see what the chairman tries to do here in his plans for the future. The word that we use every day is improvement. Are we getting better? Are we standing still? Sometimes results say that we're standing still or going backwards, but we do feel as though we're getting better, and the shape of the team's getting better. I might be getting worse as a manager, but certainly we think we know what we're doing, and with a bit of trust and a bit of honesty and sincerity, I'm sure we'll get it right and get the whole plan right. But you can't help people who don't want to be part of it or who'll come off the plan. but I certainly know from the last month we've had with the chairman that, wow, he's fixed and he knows where he's going with his project.
Yeah, and I mean, in a way, it's good to have to know that you have got sort of room for improvement, because it means that you could really come to the boil just at the right time, just as in the running, doesn't it? Really, if everything clicks into gear.
We're in a good position. We've got players who. They're young, they're dynamic, they're athletic. Tuts was fantastic today. Covered every bit of ground. Back four's been solid. Ussie's form's good. Nathan Cameron again was just outstanding. Certainly after he's been booked, to put a disciplined performance. You're only one tackle away from getting sent off. So to put that sort of performance in, I thought it was again incredible. So we're sometimes the only thing that people look at is the result, but we've got to look beyond that at times and make sure that we are on the right track and keep checking ourselves.
You talk about as well young and dynamic. I mean, I guess we're getting to that point in the season now where you're going to start to learn a little bit more about them as well, because the pressure is going to come on, and this is when you sort of find a little bit about the young players, what kind of player they are.
Yeah, but we say they're young, but they've got games under the belt. Tuts has got games under his belt. Nathan Cameron's developed into a top class leader. Us has got games under the belt in the championship. Danny Rose, maybe he's not got as many in Alamore, but we'll give him that. That's part of us getting better. And I see that daily. But it's just like I said, it's trusting in what we're trying to do.
Well, one question as well, really, just about. I mean, the next match is Stevenage on a Tuesday night. I think it's the second time the third time in counting the FA Cup that you've gone down to Hertfordshire on a Tuesday night. It's a tough one for the fixture programme. It's a tough one for the fans as well, isn't it? Really.
It's mad on the fans. We travel on a top class coach. We have food on the coach to save money instead of having a pre-match meal. We have food on the coach, and we travel. Honestly, it's fantastic. And it's just about mindset and getting your head around it, and it's a fantastic. The fans have got to maybe take half a day off work or a day off work to get down and get stuck in traffic, I always think with the fixtures and how they set fixtures up, do they ever really think about the fans and the logistical side of it? It seems crazy, but like you say, it's the third one this season, and it's. The Christmas period was unkind to the football club as well and to the fans. So, but it's one of them, and I don't know. We can't do enough about it. We've no control of it, but you just hope that powers that be get it right.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, how did you? Because you just mentioned something before about the young strikers, and funnily enough, I remember you mentioned Nuge the other week, and I remember you're probably at the club when we used to do the interviews just outside where your office is now. I remember at the end of the season, virtually having Nuge pinned up against the wall, saying to him, you're a good player, and he's not scored for 12 months. If you look back, he's not scored for 12 months. 3 months later, off the bench against Yeovil, we're off. Same could it happen to Alan Hope? Of course it could, couldn't it? But how do you balance that now with people thinking,
because you stick to the plan. You stick to the plan. If you listen to all the moans and groans that goes on at any football club, you'd never make a decision for yourself. Do you know what I mean? So I've got fantastic backing. I've got a good support structure above me, underneath me with Brassy and Futch. The lads, they'll come good because we see it every day. We're in a privileged position because you only see it. You guys only see it. Maybe it's twice a week.
Exactly,
for 180 minutes. We train them every day.
Yeah.
We've seen the sacrifices
Massive
they put in, and we'll all be in tomorrow. We'll get it right tomorrow. We'll go through the game, and that's why it comes good.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, if you don't feel it does, then you do something about it and have an exit strategy, which we've done on numerous times this season and last season when I've not felt the right person is right for this project. We've been able to move them on, but we'll stick with them. And again, it's that trust. If the fans trust in what we're doing, and if they don't, they don't. But the ones that do, will get it right.
Yeah, and it just, again, I'm sort of privileged being and one of the trustees there in the community, and we had the meeting Tuesday, and there's so much going on. I'm not sure I can say it, and I better not just in case, but there's so much going on. See the club evolve and expand, and it's sort of stuff that people prots don't take over.
I don't think some people want to know, and I don't think they're that bothered.
I think it's simple as that. Yeah.
I do. I think you've got certain
shareholders that are into it a certain level and do want to know. I think fans just want to turn up on a Saturday and win, and that's it. And that is the ultimate win, and that's the only thing you care about. But the chairman, and it's his job and the board's job to have a duty of care for the football club and the best interest in that, and that's what I see daily. You know, I don't think people realise the mess that it was, where it come from. I really don't. Every single department and corner of this building wasn't right. It wasn't right. The organisation wasn't functioning at all, and that's what these people are trying to do, and we're trying to do that. We've got a football plan. There's a business plan behind that, and there is a hell of a lot going on. Hell of a lot going on. So, but it won't deter us. It's only working it. You know, we're driven. We're ambitious for the football club, and we're ambitious to make sure that we build a fortress here. And certainly, I won't be deterred, and the chairman won't be deterred from that plan of attack.
And there's no reason why it should happen overnight. The good things don't generally happen overnight, do they? So, would it be the end of the world? I don't mean financial, because chairman said it isn't. If you didn't go up this season, would it be a blow?
It's a question for the chair. You know, we know what we've got to do. We know that we've got to keep improving this group of players. So the football plan, there'd be a financial implication to it, like there is everything. You know, in terms of there's an action to every reaction, but we will certainly keep going with the forward plan, and things of like life, things don't always run smoothly.
No,
but it's how you bounce and how you support yourself through the bad times that we've had. Certainly November, the pitch situation, and then the training situation. So we will certainly keep moving forward, undeterred, and that's probably the message that we need to finish on.
Yeah, well, we'll finish actually one more. No pressure for you, by the way, but there were things in the meeting we were saying about coming on the field in a particular weekend in May, which Jill reminded us, no, you can't be doing that. It's playoff weekend. No pressure there then. Wembley it is.
Cheers, guys. Are you doing us? Yeah.
Thanks.